We are live. If you're watching the replay, you hit that thumbs up. Check out the other channels for the Outdoors Live. We got Mr. A&J Outdoors, John. We got Steve from Haulin Ash, and Stanley Orchard will be joining us soon. Their links are in the description of this video.
Absolutely.
Y'all doing all right today for a Monday?
Yep, for Monday.
Doing
Cold
good.
and windy one.
End of the month.
Had a Thanksgiving. It was awesome. Oh, survived it.
Yeah, this first 4-day weekend I hadn't, I don't know how long, been a while.
Must be nice. I had I didn't have a 4-day weekend. I had Thursday off, worked Friday, and then off Saturday, Sunday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 5 days.
Nice.
Good job, Grant. You're already monitoring your own stuff. Nice.
What's up, Jimmy C? Mr. Rick, how's it going?
Jimmy C and friends. Yep.
Hey, Jimmy C.
Gotta have a cheers for Mr. Jimmy C.
We'll give him a cheers.
Yes, we killed a few Thursday, but we're gonna go tomorrow. We got a permit for tomorrow, so hopefully we'll be killing some ducks tomorrow. Just haven't been cold enough. We seen a few, but we got a little cold snap yesterday, so maybe that pushed a few in. You guys getting into hunting or fishing this weekend?
Man, I didn't get to do nothing but Thanksgiving and had grandbabies running around. And so I think this coming Friday I'm going fishing. So we'll see. It's going to be cold. Well, I know maybe not for you guys so much, but morning Friday, it's supposed to be 33 degrees. And then the high is going to be in the 50s. So it'll be a little chilly on the boat, especially for me. But that's the best time to get the big cats. They like to be out roaming around, chomping down, because early, by about March, April, they start spawning. So they build up between now and then. So they'll start eating pretty well.
They had a big tournament up here on Lake Erie, Walleye Fall Brawl, and the first two prizes are, one's a Hughes craft boat, and I forget what the other one is. Expensive boats are the first two prizes. So a lot of my friends are out trying to win, I guess they give prizes up to 5th place. So all weekend I'm watching on Facebook, seeing my friends out there catching these great big 8-10 pound walleye, but it wasn't big enough. The winner ended up being, I think, just shy of 13 pounds was the winner.
Holy crap, that is huge. I've never got a walleye over, I don't think, 2 pounds.
Yeah, I know. There's some big pigs.
Hey, Precision Angling. What's up, man?
What's up, Precision Angling? How's it going?
Permit tomorrow and every Friday this month. All right, Rick. Rick's going to go out and knock down some birds, I guess. Friday.
What number pick you got tomorrow, Rick? I think we got 12th tomorrow, which is decent. There's 27 spots.
Grant, how do they determine the spots? Is the DNR or somebody have this body of water and this is where you're going to hunt because it's being safe from everybody else type of thing? Is that how it works?
This particular place, this year we had to actually get permits. So there's no draw. Every other year there's a draw. So if there's 27 spots, 50 people show up, that means there's 23 blanks. 23 people are going home, 23 groups.
I see.
This year we had, because of COVID, what's up, Pondoms? So this year, because of COVID, we had to do it online. And anyways, we already know our pick number and don't have to draw. So I like it better. I mean, we know we're hunting. We didn't. So tomorrow we have 12th. Opening day we had 23rd. And actually December the 12th, I got second pick. But my cousin's getting married in Memphis, so I've got to go down there so I can get to use that second pick permit. But yeah, there's like, say there's 15 blinds, and the other 12 are what they call pools, so you can hunt anywhere inside that pool. If you've got a boat or if you're just wanting to stand in waders. And every other year there's been a 12 decoy minimum. They lowered it to 6 this year, so I don't know what that's all about.
a 6 decoy minimum. You have to have at least 6 decoys.
Yep. Every other year it's been you've had to have at least 12 out.
Dang, why would they force you to have a certain number of decoy? I don't duck hunt, so I don't know. That's weird.
I'm not sure.
I want to put 3 out. Why can't I do that?
Lawbreaker.
There's some guys that Nibble, how's it going? There's some guys that'll put 6, 8 dozen out.
Wow. I can see them saying, hey, you can't put more than this. I don't understand why they would say you have to put at least this many. I mean, I just don't understand it.
Yeah. Hooked up and backlash, how's it going?
Ah, he's in the house. Where is he? Oh, there he is. What's up, man? It's Robert. Tried to get him to go fishing with me Friday, but he's got things to do. I guess work.
Yeah, that's my problem. Rick's saying give him a holler. He's got all Friday picks. I've got to work on Fridays. I'm taking 2 days off. If we get a group of ducks in, a push, I might take a Friday off and hunt with you.
There you go. That twist his arm a little bit. There you go.
Jeff Bottom, how's it going? Coach CJ, good to see you. Hope all is well in Coach CJ's world.
Yeah, and y'all are missing Mr. Stanley Orchard. He should be popping in here in the next 10 minutes or so. You know, he has.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing? I just see Jeff Bottom pop up on my screen. Jeff worked for me today. We froze. I had to run in the truck about every 20 minutes to warm up my fingers. Man, when my fingers get cold, I'm kind of done. So it was a lot of truck time warming up.
That's how I am with my toes and feet. My toes and feet get cold, I'm going to have to tap out.
We're getting old, John.
I'm getting old.
Oh. So.
Gun.
We don't use decoy duck hunting up here in New Hampshire. It's more like run and gun, Jimmy C. Wow. Okay.
When we go goose hunting, my son, I bet you he brings out 100, 120.
Decoys.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. And the thing is, he'll sit there for a while. We're just nicely getting comfortable, and he don't like a spread. Back out he goes, change things around. Sit your doggone butt down and see what flies in. But
Yeah.
he always thinks, oh, I need to change these or I need to change those. No, leave them the heck alone. You got 120 of them out there.
That would drive me nuts. That would drive me nuts.
You guys
Every time you go out there, you ain't nothing going to land.
use full bodies or silhouettes or shells?
He's got both. He's got the full bodies, and he's also got the little flags that you poke in the ground, and you put this little. It's like a flag. It's a goose flag, and it's just cloth, but it brings them in, I guess.
Pondum, I don't believe you're 85. For some reason, I'm just not believing that.
He claims he is.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I'm looking at some of his videos. I'm not sure. I see he's making a log cabin now. I think it's going to be a log mansion, right, Pondum?
I got that notification. I didn't have a chance to watch it.
He's a master builder.
10.
10 dozen decoys? Holy smokes.
I mean, that's
120,
what
yeah.
that's what Steve's talking about. 120. That's 10 dozen. Yeah.
Holy. I got to see something real quick.
He bought one of these great big jet sleds to pull behind his four-wheeler, and he's got them decoys stacked up in bags and up on the front on the carrier. Yes, just a lot of doggone decoys to take care of. Hey, Wayne, how you doing, buddy?
What's up,
Hey,
Wayne?
He's got a video coming out tomorrow. Can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah, me too. All right, so back when I had A&J Outdoors, the online shop, I was making these things for you freaking duck hunters, right? So they got a clevis hook you just hook on. They got the rings up here. They got the weights here, right? Sliders. I don't know if you can see all that. So this, you could just take the whole thing and just sling out your decoys, and then you go back and collect them up and just hook the clip on yourself to carry them in and out. You know, I sold absolutely 0 of those.
Are you serious?
I didn't have any duck hunters on my store, apparently. Everything was fishing stuff.
I mean, that's the way to go now. I just started doing that last year. My main guy I hunt with, he's been doing it for 3 years, 2 years. Anyways, that is the way to go.
Yeah.
Easy to pick up. Don't have to worry about wrapping.
Yep.
Texas rigs. Yeah. I was going to say Texas rigs. I didn't know if they were Texas rigs. I've seen some Alabama rigs or something. I don't know.
Texas rigs.
That is the way to go.
Yeah.
Like that. I think I've got a dozen set up like that. And I've got a couple set up on spreaders for a jerk string.
And I do this for catfishing too, but if you look at it, your weight is permanently, right? It's clinched on there. This is where you hook your thing to, the slider. So this will slide from the weight all the way down to the loop at the other end. So the weight can slide freely through it. So however deep it is from, if it's only a couple feet deep, it only goes that far. If it's deeper, it'll go all the way to the bottom. So I thought it was an awesome design, but
I've got some like that I bought, paid for.
Yeah, I bet you these were cheaper too. I don't remember how much I was selling them for. I know it wasn't much. Those are the only ones I still have made up. So maybe I'll just put them in a box and send them to Grant McIntosh. Here's what I'll do, Grant, is I'll have a phony giveaway and you'll win, and it'll be those. Because you win them all anyways.
I was just going to say, just have a giveaway. He wins everything anyway. It doesn't matter.
That's a fishing trip with Wayne.
I didn't get in on that because I knew I couldn't make it. I would love to fish with Wayne, but I did not even enter because I knew I couldn't get down there.
He didn't give us a time, hey, be here by such and such time. Just saying.
Higgs Rock Farm, Laura Bruno, hello. Thank you for joining us. We're just talking hunting and fishing. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah, Thanksgiving for me this year was different. We've always done, like I said somewhere, we've always done turkey on the Weber. I've grilled it for 30 years, right? We used to do one on the grill, one on the oven because we'd have a lot of people over. And we'd always have leftovers from the one on the oven, and the one on the grill is just gone because it's just juicier and actually cooks a little faster. But this year, Audrey won that or got that Traeger pellet smoker that she got from work for 20 years. And so I'm like, you know what? Let's try it on there. And it turned out good, but it didn't. I've been doing it the other way for 30 years. So I got some stuff. I got to work out some things. You know what I mean? It took probably about an hour longer than what I expected it to take to cook. So, but other than that, Thanksgiving was awesome. All the food was delicious, so, as it always is. Because Audrey does most of the cooking. I just do the turkey.
Nice.
David,
something
David
other than
turkey?
What's up, Mo?
Hey, Moser boy. How's it going? Yeah, we did different this year as well. We typically go with my wife's family, and one of them had the COVID, so we ended up going with our friends that we went duck hunting with. We went to their house. It was great. It was good food. It was really
turkey and regular Thanksgiving.
Yeah, just turkey and casserole.
Yeah, a lot of my family,
pecan pie.
A lot of my family in New Mexico now is just like, especially Christmas time. It's like, we don't do turkey no more. We do Mexican for Christmas. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I would probably enjoy that just as much because I love Mexican food, but it's just kind of weird, Does that mean
My wife, we always put on the big thing. We've got turkey and dressing and rutabagas and potatoes and, green bean casserole, everything. Well, she makes pumpkin pie. And that's one of my favorite things. I love pumpkin pie. So we're all sitting down and I take a bite of it. Just something doesn't taste right. My daughter-in-law is sitting to my left. And I look over at her and I says, does your pumpkin pie taste okay? She says, no, it doesn't. So I took another bite and, oh, Judy, something's wrong with your pumpkin pie. She says, oh no, I forgot to put sugar in it. It was terrible. Terrible pumpkin pie.
Your microphone's acting up, Steve.
What's that?
Your microphone's acting up.
Oh. I'll just shut up.
Is it? Can you tell what it's from, Grant? The sound?
No, I didn't change anything. Haven't touched anything. I don't know what to do.
It's real. No, still bad. Are we hearing ourselves echo through his?
I don't know. How's that?
Hello, hello, hello. Anybody hear an echo? That's
Yeah, I muted Steve and it's gone.
So, Steve, what you
What'd
probably
you
need to do is have your two devices a little further away from each other. Or have the audio turned off on whatever you got YouTube on. So, whatever you have this Yardbird channel on is good, and then the YouTube audio off. You still got him muted and he's talking to us. Sorry, everybody. This is a typical shindig when we're all together like this.
What's up, Cole Outdoors? Good to see you.
Wow,
Angler.
You gonna unmute him or just leave him muted, Grant?
Well, I think he has to unmute himself. Can I unmute him? Unmute.
There you go.
There, can you hear me now?
Still bad. And I even when we talk, I can hear us on his feed.
Yeah. Did you change anything to make it do that?
I don't know. I'm still hearing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute him. Yeah, I'm not sure if you changed anything while we were midstream.
Yeah, because it's picking up us talking on his microphone too, like he's listening to it on YouTube and on this or something. It's double dipping on us.
He turned it off.
Okay, give him the mic and see what happens. No,
Any better?
still there.
Try to hop out and come back.
Oh,
Yeah. Jump out and come back in.
So weird.
That is weird. John is a master technician. He'll have, yeah, right, whatever upon him. Far from the truth, far from the truth. I haven't got to see anything in the chat over here.
Just my fish. How's it going? Having a little technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I get Steve back in here.
Yeah.
Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. You got anything coming up this week?
Yeah. So Friday I'm going to try to go fishing. We'll see how the weather is and if I turn into a big wimp because it's cold out. But I don't think that'll happen. I tried to get Robert hooked up in Backlash go with me. He can't make it. I've got another friend down here who we used to fish in some tournaments, and he hasn't been out in a long time on these lakes, and he's seen my last videos, so he wants me to take him out there and give it a whirl. So I told him he can come. He just hasn't decided if he's going to make it or not. So either Friday I'll be fishing alone or I'll be fishing with him. Either way.
Howie, how's it going? Food Forest Permaculture. Good to see you.
Man.
We're hunting tomorrow, and I don't know if we'll get to hunt anymore this week, but we're definitely going tomorrow, so looking forward to that. Hooked up Backlash is going to the coast for the weekend. Sounds great.
He was down there for Thanksgiving too. I know a couple people that were down there for Thanksgiving. They were asked, "Hey, you going to the coast thing?" Nah, we keep it really traditional here. So, but like you go duck hunting, I never thought of doing any of that kind of stuff on Thanksgiving, which I think is cool though. He's back.
any better?
Mucho.
Sounds good here.
All right.
Yeah.
What you got coming up this week, Steve? Anything
Work.
but work? All work, no play?
Just work. I am going to do the part 2 of my deer processing video, if that's what you're talking about as far as YouTube stuff. First one was part 1. My son did just the canning. Part 2, my other son is smoking, making soup stock, and I'm grinding hamburger. So that's it as far as video goes. And I'm going to be putting affiliate links to all that stuff that we're using. And that's as far as YouTube goes. As far as personal, just working. Living the dream.
Living the dream.
Yep.
I love that.
Real Men Cook. Good to see you. What's up, Gun Loves? What's up?
But real men do cook. I agree with that.
You cooking all the time, making some good food.
I know. That's my problem. I eat it too.
There's Mr. After 5 Outdoors. Speaking of a duck hunter, that was a great video you put out today. I did get a chance to watch that. Been in the hospital, Howie. Well, hope you're getting better.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We need to poke a stick at Stanley Orchard again. I'm gonna poke him right now. Digitally, I'm gonna poke him like poking a bear.
Higgs Rock Farm got a deer with his 30-30, Remington 788. Good deal.
Man, I'd regret getting rid of my 30-30. Back in the early 90s, I was stationed in El Paso and made friends with a guy there from up north. He's from Pennsylvania and big hunter. We're both hunters. And I had a 30-30 Winchester, and I bought my rifle that I still have now, which is a Model 700 and 270. And so he didn't have a hunting rifle at the time, and I felt kind of bad for him. So I sold him that 30-30 for $100. So that was awfully, looking hindsight now, that was awfully nice of me to sell him a 30-30 for $100. But it is what it is. But yeah, I do regret that. I don't like him much anymore anyways. No, I'm kidding. That's
I had a 30-30 and I got rid of that as quick as I could.
Oh, you're so mean. That old lever actually just might not be the best rifle, but it's cool.
Oh, there he is.
Hey guys.
Hey. How you doing? Don't anybody tell him what we were talking about him, okay?
I knew. I specifically give you guys a few minutes at the beginning of every stream to talk about me, get it out of your system, get it out of your hair, and then we'll move on.
We've been in here for an hour or so already. Shit.
You guys did hit it early today.
Well, that was just backstage. Shh, don't tell everybody about that.
So what am I missing out on? What's the news today?
We were just finding out what everybody did over the last few days, Thanksgiving-ish, and then what their plans are coming up. So what did you do Thanksgiving-ish, sir?
I went to Waco and got to do a little bit of fishing at Lake Waco. For those of you guys who, it's been a little bit since we've done it. I fished that lake like 3 times with Peter and absolutely failed. And it's kind of comical looking back on it. But now we were actually finally able to get some fish out of that lake, in large part due to the things that we have learned from you guys. So thank you.
Very cool. Look, Stanley shows up and Grant disappears.
Yeah.
I got to get it.
5 Outdoors. The Dirty 30 is a classic.
Charge.
Yes, it is. It is. I just couldn't hit anything with it.
So how big was the catfish you caught there, Stanley?
He wasn't very big, but he made a meal. We made it. We did an interesting, and we'll have a little video backstory, the weird backstory on that. I had some camera issues filming it, but I am going to have a video on it. We had my niece. She wanted to come with us. So we actually let her haul it in, and went through the process of, she hauled it in. We're like, okay, you caught this. This is your fish. So do you want to keep him or let him go? And she says, well, I named him Tom and I want to keep him. And so my brother and I both like, oh, okay. So this is going to be that teachable moment. And it was.
Tom's going to get eaten.
Tom got eaten. Yeah, he got put on a plate. And the realization when that process was occurring, we told her, it's like, hey, that means a pet. And this is not a pet. I want to keep him. All right, cool. But then, of course, in the filleting process, that's when the realization strikes that, oh, there's a difference between the pet and the guy that gets put on a plate.
Yep, exactly. Hey, just my fish. That understand that does kind of sucks. It does get pricey. It's almost like that here in Texas, believe it or not, just because so much land is owned, prime land is owned, and you got to pay people to hunt it. So kind of like that. But there's a lot of places here in the States still that you can hunt inexpensively.
Dude, look at you guys got some.
Talk about you.
I don't even. You got some names in here I don't even recognize, man. Real Men Cook, Just My Fish. Good seeing you guys.
Mm-hmm. Just My Fish said he's over in the UK. That's cool.
The fishing in Lake Waco, I tried it all. I tried bass. I tried panfish. Catfish is what I ended up getting, but we did learn a little bit about bass and panfish in the process. So you will be seeing more of that in the future too.
Very cool. Very cool.
I'm excited about it. Finally, this year, man, we were able to finally. You don't even know. For those of you guys who are privileged not to have been a subscriber for a couple of years, I've been working hard. Not hard, but I failed several times at freshwater fishing before this year.
Fin Seeker TV, good to see you. What's going on?
Wayne's new here.
Yeah. Oh.
I love that channel name, Real Men Cook.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're talking about here.
Yeah. A lot of planet out here in the U.S. that allows us poor folk to hunt. Yeah, I got you, Mr. Rick.
We do have a lot of land around. We're fortunate.
Yeah, I've kind of made my decision being here in Texas that I was going to stick to fishing, which isn't cheap either once you start getting the boat and the gear and all that.
Well, yeah, hunting's a little more difficult, I think, down here. You got to know people. You got to make friends. We've said that several times.
Or spend that money.
Yeah, spend that money. You know what's unfortunate?
I'm a nice guy. You guys can come on up to Michigan and hunt my farm anytime you want to for free. Just come right on.
I'll be there tomorrow.
I'm sold. That's all I need. I've been waiting for 3 years to hear this, Steve.
Come on. I got a nice deer blind you guys can sit in. Have at it.
That's right.
Oh,
I'll be taking you up on that the day after hunting season ends. We're going to make this happen.
actually, today is the last day of firearm season in Michigan. So,
now
write it down for next year, fellas.
Like, I'll make them think I like them, but then I'll just offer them the last day of the season.
Right? Exactly. He did that on purpose. He did it on the last day of the season.
Yeah.
Already done.
Oh, well, you still can come up and go goose hunting. How come?
That I'd like to.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
I'm afraid growing up duck hunting, that was one of those things that we did not do correctly. When I was a kid, the rule was if you go out duck hunting, you come home with a duck. So now being older and more responsible, it's a little bit different ballgame.
Mr. Rick is right. No outdoor hobby is cheap. They all cost one way or another.
Yep. You got a second gun season? Wow.
Yeah, our shotgun season was the Friday, Saturday, Sunday before Thanksgiving, and now it's coming up the second shotgun season's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Kentucky, you said yesterday was their last day of rifle season.
Mr. Higgs Rock's farm, his wife shot a beautiful 10 or 12 pointer. It was a big, nice buck.
Nice. And Just My Fish says actually keeping fish is probably more expensive than eating them. You don't even know how much I want to do a video on like the expense of a fish. I plan on doing that.
You mean like an aquarium? Keeping fish
Well, but just think of I can go to the grocery store here and buy some snapper, and it might cost, I don't know, let's say it's $10 a pound. Let me go fishing for snapper and add up the cost of gear, license, boat, fuel, food, beer, everything else that's involved, and that snapper becomes, I don't know, $100 a pound, something like. I haven't done the math, but I think that's what you're getting at, Stanley.
That's exactly what I want to do. Yeah,
that would be a good one. I'd like to see that.
I bet I'd say duck meat's pretty damn expensive once you figure up all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, we should all pick a thing and do this video, and let's all link them together in a playlist.
Yeah, you're hunting down here. Okay, well, first let me get a lease that's $2,000 plus for the season, and I get to shoot maybe a certain buck that they pick. You know, these are the guys we're allowed to shoot, and then maybe a doe. And so those two deer, I probably get about, if I'm lucky here in Central Texas, I get about
7 pounds.
Yeah, less than 200 pounds of meat for, you know, a couple $1,000 plus the ammo, the range time, the weapon itself, the license, the fuel to drive there. Oh, I probably got to stay overnight somewhere, and yeah.
I don't know too much about the expense of the ammo, because personally, if we're talking about 2 deer, you're talking probably 1, maybe 2 shots for me.
Well,
there's a reason I have reloading stuff.
1 shot, 1 kill. So.
Oh, we got a lot of guns. We do. Oh, we don't have any guns. I lost them in Lake Superior last weekend. That's right.
Yeah, I can vouch for that one. I don't. I ain't gonna register all mine in my name.
Yeti Mountain Trading, good to see you. Hope you're doing all right and had a great weekend. Hig Rock's gonna sell some hunts next year.
Ooh,
there you go.
Where are you at again, Hig Rocks?
Yeah, really. Where are you at?
He's close to Kentucky Lake. He's real close to Kentucky Lake.
Jeff Bottom says, warn us when you do that video. He doesn't want his wife to see it.
Yeah, we're going to do a separate video. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do one of the reality of it for YouTube purposes, and then the one for the wives to see.
Yeah. Mountain Trading.
That should be a viral video. The wife version, making the video specifically for the wife to see.
I get 6 tags for whitetail. I use them all. Yeah, I mean, here in Texas, depends on there's a lot. Texas is big. So one area, they have certain hunting rules, and another area has different hunting rules. But yeah, you get like 6 or 7 tags, and it just depends on where you hunt. You know, there's some places you can fill them all, some places, you know, depending on where you hunt. But that's one thing that's different from Michigan. I know in Michigan, you get 1 deer. I don't know how it is now, apparently not, but we could shoot 1 antlered deer, and then you put in for a drawing for a doe tag. And
we can get here, John, 2 deer, two bucks, and then as a landowner, I can take up to 10 does, which I would never do.
Right, your land's small.
Never do.
Huh? Cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that one.
It just depends on where you're at.
I got to go back to Jeff. I got to go back to Jeff Bottom's comment about not letting his wife see it. He was telling me today, he's talking about buying a brand new boat. And he was telling me today that his wife, he's not thinking about a used one. His wife told him to buy a brand new one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have a good one, Real Men Cook.
Yeah, later.
See ya.
I gotta say, in regards to this is something that actually needs to be like a podcast episode or something. It's worth talking about, Now, personally, I like knowing this information because it makes me appear smarter and more intelligent in the community. But seriously, what is with all these ridiculous rules where they divide Texas by like the south and by the north half for hunting season, or they divide the creeks up where you guys are at? You know, like one creek is live bait, one is artificial only. Offshore, you know, how they divide Texas waters versus international waters. Some of these division lines are a little out there ridiculous. I'm throwing this out there as a topic of conversation.
Yeah, I got one to go on that, where that last and only deer hunting video I have up, in that county or whatever it's called up there. I don't know if it's by county or what. They have to have a 13-inch spread. So now think about looking at a deer on the hoof and figuring out, well, is that 13 inches or is that? Yeah. So they say it should be outside the ears.
Outside of the ears.
The ears out, it should be outside the ears. But still, on a cool, foggy morning when that buck's 100 yards away, it's not easy to. So I guess, you know, you're kind of forced to, well, I guess I'll pass on them and hope, you know, that's about it. So that one's weird. And
that's a weird one.
The other weird one is, Stanley, you brought up the federal waters versus Texas waters. That's a 9 miles out. So if you
that needs to go away. That's dumb.
If you go out, so Texas red snapper.
Yep, exactly.
All year you can have 4.
Yep.
Federal waters, 9 miles out or further, the season changes every year. They'll tell you what the season is, and you can have 2. And now people are telling me that game wardens are telling them, don't have, if you go into federal waters, don't have 4 snappers per person in your boat. Even if you say you caught them in state waters, because now you're in federal waters, and vice versa. Don't come back into state waters with 6 snappers saying, well, we caught 4 in state water and 2 in federal water, which that's what the limits say you can do. But they're going to say, no, you got 6 snapper in state waters and you're busted. And guess what? You've got to go.
No, I don't think that's how that works. You can't have 6. You can have the 4. You can't have 2 additional for federal water.
Right.
But the problem with that is that there is no way on God's green earth they are patrolling the 9-mile line where they can enforce that. Now, what they'll do is they'll enforce it on the shipping lanes. If you're driving out of Packery to whatever rig that is, I forget the name, but that rig that's I think it's Falcon is what it's called. There's not many. There's not that many rigs that are in international water that are, or Texas water, whatever the deal is. Yeah, it's international. Basically, there is a rig in international water. There's Baker out of Port A, and there's Falcon, I believe, is the name. No, it's not Falcon, but it doesn't matter. There's a rig right outside of Port Aransas on the international. It's the only rig you are going to hit in international water outside of Packery Channel. So it's a straight line. You know, you're going to go on a straight line. That's where they're patrolling. If you decide to hit that rig, catch your limit of inshore snapper, and then hit the Gulf platform or Sammy Dam or one of these other rigs outside of that straight line, you're coming back into Texas waters, and you look like you've been fishing in Texas waters and are legally holding your international, your in-state water limit, and then go to Packery Channel. There's no way that they're going to get you for anything. That is a dumb rule. They need to change that. Let's make it an international standard for everybody. I don't care, but make it year long instead of just the small season.
There's a lot of groups trying to do that. It's part of the problem is it's recreational anglers like us versus commercial anglers, because commercial anglers get a different limit in the federal waters than recreational anglers do. And so there's that battle. And then there's the state saying, let us manage it ourselves, each state. And that's still a battle. I think it's starting to lean that way, that it might happen. But that's
changing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take over Grant Stream and have a whole thing about that, but there is a deal on that, and they are changing that.
That's good.
Okay, so you just talked about numbers. How about the size of a fish on the same river? For example, Saginaw River, I believe, there's a spot where you can catch 15-inch walleye, but from this bridge going the other way, it's okay to catch 13-inch walleye.
Yep.
how the hell do they know where you caught them?
If you catch those 13-inch walleye and then move into that 15-inch walleye, and the game warden checks you there.
Yep.
We've got same thing on the trout that they release here in the rivers. There's a trophy zone that you can only use lures, and you can only certain things to catch those trout, and they can certain size limits. And then the rest of it is put and take. Use whatever you want. If you catch them, keep them, no matter how big they are. The only way they can enforce something like that is if they're right there catching in the trophy zone, fishing one of the means you're not allowed to, or keeping a fish you're not allowed to. Other than that, I don't see how they can enforce any of that. Wow, Pharma.
Thank you, Pharma. He said he heart shot a deer one time. He shot the YouTube buck, smoked him.
Heart shot. Sorry, I'm buzzing.
You're on the perfect stream then, sir.
Yes.
Cheers, Pharma.
Cheers to that.
Man. Yeah, there are some crazy rules. Going back to what we were talking about last week, I think is when we were talking about having a national license type thing. So when I go to fish in Michigan, I say, here's my license, and I don't have to pay like 3 times the amount a resident in Michigan pays. I did hear something when I was up there, Steve, maybe you can keep an ear out for this for me. I was at the bait shop up there, and the gentleman that owns the bait shop said that they were talking about changing it to where if you had property in Michigan, even if you weren't a resident, but you had property in Michigan, there was a reduced license fee for you. Was going to be. It still wasn't going to be a resident license, but it wasn't as expensive as a non-resident. So I'm just kind of waiting to see if that thing comes through or not.
So I had no idea what a Texas heart shot even was until I just looked it up. I've never done that. I have not. What's up, Shannon? How are you, Miss Shannon Naylor? Good to see you.
Hey, Shannon.
Hey, Shannon.
There's Janet. I didn't see her sneak in.
So what is a Texas heart shot? I haven't heard of that either. I thought he meant you got a heart shot on a Texas deer.
That's what I thought, too. It's shooting one in the ass, basically.
Oh,
that's funny. I'm using. Oh, that needs to be a brand.
Yeah, Illinois heart shot or some shit.
I straight up Googled Texas heart shot to see what, because I knew he was up to talking about something.
All right.
Oh my! All right. So this is what we're doing on the next live stream. On the next live stream, we're going to be offering Texas heart shot T-shirts solely through this live stream
with the back end of a deer, like jumping over a log
with a little heart.
You know, the crosshair is right there. Tail up. That would be an awesome shirt.
Yeah, we're doing that. We're going to give all the money to charity, something. I don't know who. We're going to do. I assume everybody's going to be on the same page with this, but we're doing it. We're giving all the money to charity or brown bag Santa thing or something like that, but we're doing that.
I'm down. That's awesome. You give us the design and we all just put it in merch and then send that money to somebody pick a charity.
And then that charity, they'll be like, where'd this money come from? Texas Heart Shot. Look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
The new hashtag.
Yep.
What's up, Justin? Weekend Warrior. Good to see you.
What's up,
hey,
man?
Justin.
Hey, what's up, man?
Good to see you. So that one, I might have spoke about this before, but we were talking about regulations and boundaries. What was it? A couple weeks ago, we talked about here in Michigan, there's a highway that goes east and west. Did we already talk about that? Where anything north of there, you can use a neck down rifle cartridge. Anything south where I live, it used to be a shotgun or a muzzle loader, and now they came out with a straight walled cartridge. And that's just been like the last 3 years.
So school me, what's the difference between a neck down rifle cartridge and a straight walled as far as why you would have a rule about that? Does the straight walled not fly as far, so you're not going through a neighbor's house because it's a more populated area? I know the shotgun rule was kind of basically because it's a populated area, so they want you to use a shotgun, so you're less likely to kill neighbors. But what's the deal with that one? I didn't understand that still.
I don't know if you can see the neck down. That's a 25-06.
Yep.
Neck down. This is a 450 Bushmaster,
Okay.
straight wall.
Right.
This is perfectly legal to use where I live. This one is not.
But why?
Yeah, why is that?
Makes no sense, does it? I don't know. I don't reload 450s. I do reload 25-06, but it looks to me like there's got to be as much powder in a 450 as there is in a 25-06. And
do they have like a Magnum version of that, or is there? Can you get it? You know what I mean? Like, is it even a powder issue?
no, it is entirely the cartridge being straight walled, like a 44 handgun. Any of your handguns, you could use them down here. So then they said, well, somebody got smart and said, well, if I can use a 44 Magnum, let's make a 350 Legend and a 450 Bushmaster, which is still straight wall, and it falls within the rules in southern Michigan to use. And these will shoot just as far. Well, I won't say as far as my 25-06, but at 450, my son has put them down at 200 plus yards. So
that makes no sense. That rule is ridiculous.
It's another one. So, like, I'm kind of curious who's on the same page. There is some value in being an outdoorsman who knows all of these goofy little rules. This isn't a conversation that just anybody can have. You know what I mean? But seriously, what is the value of having some of these rules? Some, not all of them. Some of them are valid. I get it.
Yeah.
But really, we should, some of this stuff should be revisited, especially that national license. I'm not giving that one up. That is going to be something I'm speaking towards forever. That needs to happen.
I got another one for you. Now, this was when I deer hunted when I was like 16 years old in Michigan. So it's been a while. Might have changed. But where we were at, you could not hunt from an elevated position with a rifle.
you can now. You can now.
Good.
You couldn't used to,
You
no.
think about it, and you're elevated and you're shooting down, the trajectory of that is like this. But if
It doesn't get any safer.
You don't let me elevate. Now I'm shooting like this, and that bullet has the potential to go a lot further. So I was 16 years old, and I realized that was stupid. So I'm glad they changed that. Good to hear that.
Thank God for math. Huh? Yeah, I don't know what to think about that. I've been told, like from I don't even know how old, you don't shoot, like above the horizon.
Right.
So why they would have a rule that would, basically take off half of the shots that would be below the horizon, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It was dumb. I'm glad they changed that one. So somebody had some common sense at some point to change that one. So that's
yeah, right.
That's good.
But what happened to cause this rule in the first place? Just like our international waters, who thought that was a good idea? Somebody was sitting in a room and they're going, yeah, you can only catch 2 way offshore, but you can catch 4 inshore, and we'll get those guys who are cheating the offshore system.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. I don't know. There's some good idea fairies out there,
I want to be on that board. Does that pay money? I'll take less. I don't need much.
Isn't there something down where you guys in Texas are? Maybe Wayne too. You got to use circle hooks, and you can only use circle hooks
For some species. Yeah.
Yeah.
Snapper. You can't get snapper with a lure. And I want to say that might be seasonal.
And you cannot use stainless steel circle hooks anymore.
Nope.
Or hooks. You can't use stainless steel.
Hmm.
So that's one of those weird rules. And you can't now, I think it was last year, for sharks, you can't use an offset circle hook. So an offset.
Really? I did not know that one.
A normal hook that comes like that, and an offset, the shank is offset a little bit. So the tip of the hook is to the side a little. Typically better hookup. Everything I use is offset. But the rule is you can't use those for shark fishing. Okay, game warden, I'm for redfish.
Have fun with that one.
I happen to bite the same bait because they eat the same thing, but I'm not fishing for shark. How are you going to enforce that?
Really?
Those sound ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, after 5, thanks for stopping in. definitely politicians, somebody that probably never been fishing, making rules like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that comes back to them and trying to enforce rules on recreational anglers when, I mean, it's commercial guys. You know, commercial guys are the ones that if there needs to be any adjustment to rules, those are the guys that needs to happen to first. And I'm sorry, restaurants. I know that's a hot take, but whatever. That's how it is.
No, you're right. But there's a lot of money on the recreational side because all of our license money and all that.
Yep.
The commercial side is much better organized and lobbies much better than the recreational.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
So we get a fair fight.
You know, that's not going to happen, and that's fine. I don't even think there needs to be a fair fight, but just you know, cranking down on the rules and they don't really do that. They actually, like flounder, didn't they just increase the size or decrease the size limit on those, something like that? Snapper
went from 14 to 15 inches for flounder.
Okay, but they increased the season or something, I thought. You know, it's hilarious. I was actually in that meeting. I voted on that one, and I don't even remember what the rules were that I was voting on.
I think there's a certain time. There was a certain time in December, late November, early December, where you could only keep twos because I guess they were spawning at that time, and they might have adjusted those dates. But it's weird here in Texas too. Like there's a line where below this line along the Texas coast, you can keep this many speckled trout, but above the line, you can only keep this many speckled trout. So again, another one of those weird rules. Different groups of people get to manage different areas, so they make their little rules.
Can't make it easy. Can't be simple. Of course, that adds more value to us, so I'm not going to argue. You know, those guys who actually know those rules, that provides content for YouTube. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Has everybody left us? No,
they're tired of the conversation.
Talk about something other than rules and regulations.
I thought it was an interesting conversation. I didn't mean to totally kill your stream, Grant.
No, I think it's important.
No, it's important. We don't have quite the rules like that. I mean, there are a few spots that have a slot limit on bass or a size limit on bluegill or crappie. You know, we do have a 25 limit on crappie, and I mean, each place is different. You just have to know the rules.
Yeah. I know my ex-son-in-law, he's still alive, unfortunately. But anyways, when they were married, they're up in Washington State, and I kind of got him motivated to start fishing and stuff. And I was like, what? He was telling me the stuff they had to do up there. Like, you can go to a lake today, and the rules are different than the rules were yesterday. Like all of a sudden, well, you can't keep any of these kind of fish today. But yesterday you could. And then you had on your license, your fishing license, you had to record your catches and all that and then mail that into them at the end of the year. I'm like, what the hocus pocus tree hugging kind of. No, I'm sorry. But yeah, that was just crazy because I remember there was a time where I wanted to be, when I was in the Army, I wanted to be stationed up there because it's beautiful. Washington State's beautiful. The hunting and fishing is, you know, pretty great, but it sounds like regulation is pretty extensive up there too. It'd be cool to have somebody in the group or in the chat that's from that area up there to explain that stuff a little more. WTF Mike shows up right before closing time. Look, there you go.
What's up, buddy?
Mike?
Cheers, Mike. Appreciate you, Mike.
You're gonna make me get a new drink, Mike.
I'll drink to that.
Appreciate you.
You know, we don't have enough West Coast representation on this chat. I agree. It would be nice to have that portion of the conversation that we're missing.
Yeah. We get the Midwest. We get some Florida and some Northeast even. And of course, Texas. But yeah, we really don't get California, Oregon. I mean, a lot of them probably don't fish, but I'm sure there's people there that do.
You know, we had an interesting conversation about that earlier this morning. We were talking about people fishing at the live stream we did. We were talking about people fishing in California, and the conversation on that, I don't know how true this is, but apparently, like what I was told is that there's a little bit more of a, I don't know how to say it as much as like people don't do fishing as much in California because it's like it hurts animals kind of conversation. You know what I mean? Like it's not something that people do quite as much over there. And that just hearing that kind of blew my mind. I was like, man, you guys got some really cool species over there. It blows my mind that you don't have, and you don't see it. Like if you go to California, you drive down the PCH, you don't see people fishing on the beach. You don't hear people talking about it. We don't have that many YouTube channels that are doing fishing in California. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, there's a few, but yeah, you're right. Yep. It's like the total opposite of Florida.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
I see that. People want you to use a barbless hook so you don't hurt the fish because they have feelings.
That's one of the trout in that.
I bet they got some weird ones there.
That's one of the rules, barbless hooks. And no baits. You have to use lures. Yeah.
Is that California or is that a different one?
That's here in Texas. That's the Guadalupe River for trout.
No kidding. I didn't know that. I'm still learning my freshwater, but
they start stocking trout there in the next week or two.
In the Guadalupe.
Yeah.
Is that the one that travels right through here?
It runs from Canyon Lake. Comes right out of Canyon Lake, goes into Canyon Lake, and comes out of Canyon Lake. On the south side, the dam end, so the southern end, that's the tail race to the dam. That's where they start stocking the trout. And the Texas Parks and Wildlife, you can go to their website, and they got a listing of all the different places in Texas where they stock trout, the dates they're going to stock the trout, all that.
I like how they got the dates on there so that you can just sit, like 20 feet away from the release with some barbless hooks and go to town.
Well, most of those places where they're stocking them are put and take, so they want you to catch them. So there's no rules on size. Use whatever bait you want. It's just the trophy zone where you can't do that. We're trying to keep the larger fish because they've found that the river is deep enough and cold enough that there's a population that survives the summer. Most of these trout are going to die in the summertime because it gets too warm. So they want you to catch them, take them home, fry them up, and eat them.
I got a question about that. Like when we were in Wisconsin, I didn't do a video on this because it was a bit of a miserable experience. But we went trout fishing on the streams and caught a rainbow trout, and he had orange meat. And everybody was telling me is that like when they stock those streams, you get the white meat. That means they had just stocked them. And they're not going to taste as good. You want to give them a season so that they get the orange meat and they taste better. Is that like Grant and Steve? Is that something you guys have to deal with there? And John, is that something that we deal with down here? Since I don't know.
Never heard of it here.
I've never heard of that.
I've watched.
Wow. Okay, I thought that was a prevalent thing up in the Midwest. So
up in Idaho, there's a certain fin on the back of the trout down towards the tail. I forgot the name of it. It's not an anal. It's up top. But if it's a farm raised, is one of the ones they released, it will not have that fin.
Right.
The native trout will have that fin. And if you catch them, if they have the fin, they're native, you're not allowed to keep those. But if it's a stocked fish without that fin, then you're allowed to keep them.
wow.
It's the same thing here in Michigan as far as that fin, but we keep them one way or the other. It doesn't matter in Michigan waters.
Okay, so have you caught both and cooked them together? Have you noticed the difference?
Yeah, it's a little fin right on the back by the behind the dorsal fin.
Yeah.
I think it's called an adipose fin.
I think you're right.
I think that's what it's called. And I can't remember which way it is. I think it's the ones that are planted don't have that fin where the native ones do.
Right, because they remove it in the nursery.
Must
be. Have you tasted? Is there a difference? Have you eaten them both and noticed any difference?
I haven't. I mean, I don't fish that much for the. Too bad Playing Hooky wasn't here. He'd be able to answer those questions. But
yeah.
But I've only caught just a few, so I don't have an answer. If there's much taste difference, I just don't know.
And I grew up most of my childhood in New Mexico, and that's the main thing we did was trout fish. And I knew we were catching like brooks and rainbow, and I knew we were catching both fish that had been released and native fish. But I never noticed a difference in the meat or anything. Ooh, that's a native. Ooh, that's I don't know. So I couldn't answer it either. Rattletrap's in the house.
What's up,
Rattletrap?
Farmall says the native trout there in Pennsylvania all have orange meat.
The native, dude.
The native ones, yeah.
The native, yeah.
It was the stocked ones in Wisconsin. Those are the ones that had white meat. And I caught or actually my brother-in-law caught a rainbow trout. He caught the only trout of that trip. And it had orange meat. And so everybody's like, oh, thank God, it had orange meat.
Chili Man, what's going on? Bait the Hook, what's up? We're just about to shut her down. We go from 5 to 6 Central. Glad you showed up. Hit that thumbs up. Anybody got any videos coming out the rest of the week? I know Stanley had the Cyber Monday video today.
Yep. I'm going to be moving over one of the vlogs this week. Put that swim spa in the backyard with a crane, so that'll be posted on the main channel this week. Other than that, I don't have a fishing video yet.
Part 2 of my processing deer meat should be up this week sometime.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
I haven't watched part 1 because it's like 28.
Not many people have.
I'm going to get to it. I just wanted to watch it in full, so I haven't.
It's pretty bad when around Thanksgiving, it's like all my family, hey, pull your YouTube channel up and watch it to get my views up.
There you go. Smart. That's smart.
That's how you know what? I tested a video like that one time 3 years ago. I had 4 devices running a single video over and over and over and over again, searching the video and doing all this stuff. And I did that for like, I think I did that for like 50, 55 views over the course of like 2 hours, drinking the whole time. And for that 2 hours, I was ranking in some really serious search terms. And the second I stopped doing that, it was dead and never came back.
Dang.
I learned that lesson though.
Learn that lesson. Hey, Steve, I like that one. You know, like I said in the comment, Audrey's family cans, and they did when we were up there. They were doing canning, right?
Yeah.
We brought some of that home with us. And to me, it's always been cool, but a mystery, and it's so dangerous and all this. And then I watched your video. I'm like, dang, that ain't hard at all.
I've never done it. My son did, and my wife never has either. And she wanted to watch because he kept saying, it's not that hard, Mom. It's just people are afraid of it, but it's not that hard if you do these steps. So that's why he took the time. And sometimes in that video, he ends it twice or 3 times, but he felt that he really wanted to drive the point home that it can be dangerous if you don't watch this pressure gauge and keep it within a certain amount of pounds or whatever. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to more of it.
That's
same here.
And my son never does. He's the one that's like, I don't want to be on YouTube, damn technology. We're here to catch fish, turn off the YouTube. And he wanted to do this one. So I thought, heck yeah, we'll let you do one.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, all the canning supplies because of COVID have disappeared off the shelves.
Yeah.
Yep.
We actually mailed some stuff from here up to Audrey's aunt and uncle just because they couldn't find it.
Ridiculous. Where are we at next week, guys? Whose channel? Steve, you gonna be available?
I'm going to try my best, fellas. Yeah.
We have to. We'll just take your channel over.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Next week it's going to be at Haulin Ash. If you don't have him, Stanley or John from A&J Outdoors, their links are in the description below. We'll see you next Monday over at Haulin Ash. Thanks for joining us. Have a great
Peace out.
Hey, guys.
Have a
Take
great
care.
week, guys.